I love the music. The DJ is incredible.
The people are really awesome.
Headshot. Sit down. And do it. Pass out. Wake up. Made it.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for checking out the Alchemix channel. I'm DJ Alchemix, and today we're going to take a quick look at a popular new entry in the portable turntable market called the Stanton STX. I've been wanting to do some sort of a mobile setup, super compact, modular, with two of these new turntables, the little portables, and see what I could do with instead of just one deck to scratch on, more of a full-featured, super convenient, lightweight setup. And I thought that this might be the awesome addition that could sit next to the Omni. And unfortunately for me, I don't like this thing. When it comes down to it, this X-style case is big. Like, I thought the whole point of this was to be shaving it down, but yeah, it takes up a slightly bigger footprint. I like the concept they have of being able to use the case as a stand. However, since I'm trying to go for a super tiny, portable, lightweight setup, I actually want it to be lower, not higher. And you can see, even with the case off, I don't know, maybe I just locked it. It's still significantly higher than my little tiny mixers that I like to use for the portable setups. It is nice and stable, elevated on the case like that, and I don't dislike it. But yeah, I mean, the chances that I would try and replace a real turntable with this next to like an actual $2,000 mixer, it's just not likely. I will say things that they did excellent. The speaker on top, it is far superior than the one that I have on my Omni. It's still a little bit crackly, can definitely clip easily. However, compared to every other speaker I've seen built into these things, this is much louder and much clearer. I still wouldn't normally use onboard speaker. I would use just some sort of simple Bluetooth speaker. It's going to take less of your power. It's going to sound a lot better having just a dedicated device to do specifically that. The Innofader on board feels amazing. I did get very Western with this bad boy. Beat on it pretty good. I think all of these things should be coming with Innofaders when they're clearly aimed directly at scratch DJs. The pitch fader being not on a rotary, on a little tiny tempo slider, it's fun. I liked it, and it works pretty good. You can actually do quite a bit of pitch play stuff just by switching platter speeds and ultra pitch settings. And overall, it's pretty dang stable. The platter, I don't feel any play in this thing. I feel like they built it right. I heard that this was originally supposed to be the follow-up to the Newmark PT-01, but In Music decided to release it under Stanton. Now, Stanton has made some incredible turntables. I used to have the STR8 150s MK1s, and those, compared to every other modern day turntable, they were among the few that really felt different. They were tanks. Like, the top metal plate on that was like a 1/4 inch thick. They were so heavy. But what I realized is whether you have a S tone arm, which is the standard, or the straight arm, which is supposedly skipless. I've definitely had them still skip on me. When you mark your records for an S arm and then you try and scratch them on a table with a straight arm, your markings no longer line up. And for that reason, I got rid of my straight arm turntables because I had been marking my records for years with an S arm, and you can't really go back and forth between the two or mix them up. I did mention this on the Omni. There was no built-in holder for the 45 adapter. I think they did a great job putting that right there. Overall, the case looks really nice. It feels a step up, in my opinion, from some of the base model portable turntables out there. But I will say this tone arm right here, it is the exact same tone arm that they've been putting on pretty much all of them. It comes on the Reloop, it comes on the Newmark. My Omni was different. However, I upgraded that to a carbon fiber Jesse Dean. But you can see here, this tone arm that I removed from the Omni, it was actually a metal tone arm. Whereas this and all the other ones are coming with this plastic tone arm, which when I saw it, I thought, man, that looks very familiar to me. It actually has the exact same cartridge that I have on this little $100 toy record cutter that I ordered. So to say that this tone arm is in any way superior to what has been on the market, that is 100% false. I do like the fact that there's no flip over top clip. It's just one hand. You can kind of pop it in with a little bit of compression fitting. But the reason I am not going to be keeping this, honestly, I probably would not have kept it anyway. But this one arrived with an insane amount of play here. This tone arm should have 0 play at the spindle here. And unfortunately, that's so loose. I didn't even want to play my 7-inch records on it because that is liable to tear up the grooves in your records and stuff like that when it can't track straight. So I did do a little bit of cutting with it on the B side of my ghetto little homemade tractor time code vinyl that I was willing to tear up a little bit. As far as, you know, just scratching, cutting, all that, it works. It does that just fine. I think this USB option to record your cuts directly onto a thumb drive is dope. Bluetooth. I was not impressed at all with the Bluetooth. It's great for adding a beat in if you want to hear it over the speaker on the rig. But for some reason, I don't know if you can change this or not, but stock, it's set to the same channel as your scratching record here. So every time you go to cut your scratch, you're also cutting your Bluetooth beat. I don't know why they did that. That was pretty ridiculous. There is an input on the back where you could just use like an auxiliary cable to input a beat, and that one for some reason is set up to have the beat on the opposite side of the channel. But again, if you have any device that you're going to line into this, chances are that the speaker's built into your phone or whatever, it's going to sound better than this crap on board. Batteries that came with it, they do hold a good charge. Seems to go for a long time. For the price that this was, if it had been in full functional order, if the footprint was a little bit smaller, I would probably be very excited to hold on to it. It is, I think, a good showing that portable turntables can start having more onboard features and not necessarily cost a whole lot more. But however, yeah, I just, unfortunately, when I get a bunk item and have a good excuse to send it back, I'm definitely going to. I'm not sure I want to get a second Omni, and I know that I don't think the Reloop or the Newmark would be the right deck to make my little tiny portable setup, so I'm kind of stuck as far as what I want to do, but I know I'm not keeping this. I'm sending this back for sure. Yeah, overall, the play button feels really weird. I like the Omni has like an actual depressing button that kind of feels like an old Technics would. This is just a little clicky, almost very digital feeling. It turns blue when you press it, and I did go crazy and do some torture testing on it. I don't think it's likely to fail or anything like that. I think it's good. The contour on the crossfader control, all that stuff works great. I think that's great. Like, for the most part, they got a lot of things right on this one. But huge detractions, just the footprint. We're talking about portable turntables. Here's a good question for you. Give me 1 second. Why the heck is this thing significantly larger than my Omni. And yet, my Omni, no problem at all. I have done this before, switched between DVS and classic vinyl. I can play a full 12-inch record on the Omni. That means it's great for taking with you record shopping or anything like that, because you can literally whip it out there in the place and make sure there's no skips or anything on the discs you're about to buy. The Stanton absolutely cannot fit a 12-inch record. The way they put this perch for that tone arm, it makes it 100% impossible to mount a 12-inch. Now, I heard rumors when I was doing a little research on this that it would play a 10-inch. I would like to show you right now. Absolutely not. This thing does not play anything that is a standard size other than 45s, 7-inch records. My ghetto little tractor time code, I cut this down from a full 12-inch. It's probably about 8, and it just barely clears. So just to make sure that's something I was getting incorrect information on, different answers. This Stanton STX fits absolutely nothing other than 7-inch records, which if you don't already own a portable that can play 12s, I think that's going to be a huge reason why most people would not want a Stanton STX. If you already own a couple portables and you can play 12s, you have a couple other little devices, whatever, for digging for records, all that stuff, the Stanton STX might be more sensible. Last thing about it that I hate, they put this stupid little carrying handle on the back. It seems like a good idea, a little aluminum carrying handle. It's just awkward. Like, I don't have huge hands. I'm not a giant man. I'm 5'7". But I do have messed up mechanic's hands. I've been fixing my cars my whole life. And I don't feel like I can get a good clean grip in there. Your knuckles are like squished in against the back of the case. It's all around just A for effort, a lot of intelligent ideas. But overall, I'm not going to wish that this thing worked out for me. I'm not going to miss it at all. It's going straight back, and I will wait for a better option. So I hope this was helpful. I hope none of you think that I'm bashing Stanton. Like I said, Stanton was my preferred decks when I first got back into this about 7-8 years ago. And they still have some amazing turntables that you can find out there. However, unfortunately, this little STX, the reason that In Music made Stanton release this and did not allow Newmark to release this as the follow-up to the PT-01 is because they knew that it is kind of a coin toss, in my opinion, whether it was going to be a hit or miss. And they didn't want to taint what has kind of been the underground king of portablism for the last few years here. So all right, guys, I love y'all very much. I appreciate you checking this out. I hope this was helpful, and got any questions, comments, or whatever, go ahead, feel free to leave them down below. I hope I will catch you guys on the next video.